Do you ever? So I noticed I'm starting to get some wrinkles on my forehead.
Yeah.
So I realized that if I wear my hair back tight enough, it kind of gives me Botox.
All right, explain to me the Botox thing, because here's what I don't understand, and I'm gonna come up and I'm preparing for the comments and I'm preparing for the tweets. I'm gonna come off ignorant here, and I understand that, but I want you to.
Oh, I can give you all of it.
But I want you to talk me off the ignorant ledge, because here's my thoughts with women in general. Okay.
What do you mean women guys get Botox too?
All right, just give them a break for this one part.
Who's running the Twitter right now?
Wait.
Because they just said collateral video. Where should we seat Josh McCouga and us screaming tonight?
Dorian?
It's freaking Dorian.
But wait. But let me ask this question. I want to ask this question because for me, and you're right, men do it also too. But when you look at someone like a Meg Ryan and a lot of these actresses,
Renee Zellweger,
who ruin their faces, and then you look at someone like Judi Dench, who just ages naturally and she looks beautiful. It's like, why?
I can tell you all the things.
Yeah, I want to know why, in general, and you're right, men and women do this. Why can't people just age naturally? Why do we have to ruin our faces to do it?
I think that I have never had anything done to my face ever, just to be honest. I would tell you guys if I had, I've never
It's a pretty
had.
open-ended statement there, Roxy.
I've never had any needles put in my face ever. But a ton of my friends do, and it makes them feel better. So that's cool.
I actually hear it helps migraines and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but does it become an
places in
addiction?
your temple. Yeah, I think it totally
That's the
does.
thing.
But if you're somebody who is not comfortable with your own face, it's kind of the same as getting a nose job.
Right.
Like, I don't think you look at somebody and you're like, why on earth would you get a nose job? If they don't like their nose and they want to change it, it's kind of like that. They want to make their lips bigger. They want to have less wrinkles.
I think that's what it comes down to me too, because I think that for me, it's like I don't know, and I'm not trying to sound
you
like
don't agree with nose jobs.
I don't. I just think that that's your. I understand why people do it, and I get it, and I'm not going to make people feel bad for doing it. It's just like, that's who you are. That's what you were born with, and like you can. And I think that, and I don't want to sound like a hippie here, but I think everybody is beautiful.
Do you know what's crazy is that so like.
Oh,
But you know
you're
what I'm saying?
beautiful, Christian.
But you know what I mean, though. But it's just like you can get like the one thing. As much as I give my shit to my mother-in-law,
Aging gracefully does not exist in California. It's like a hard thing.
That's what I was gonna say. That's why my mother-in-law, as much shit as I give her, right? She was a very, very beautiful woman when she was younger too, and still, and as an old, she's in her like late 70s now, right? Never done a bit of work. Yeah. Her hair, obviously.
Same thing with
too.
my grandma. 91, never worked. Have you seen her?
She ages naturally.
I understand what you're asking. I just don't care because honestly, it's so common now that I just see it as wearing makeup. I just don't.
And if it makes you feel better, but to
look
go
at
back,
Versace. Look at Versace. Look
Christian,
at her.
to go back to, do you get addicted to it? You actually can't stop most of the time. Once you start, so in California, most people start in their late 20s, which is, to me, very early. You don't even know what your face is going to end up looking like before you start. But
isn't that scary?
But if you're somebody who doesn't feel confident or comfortable with your face, you want to change it. That's your prerogative. Right. But then you can't stop because then your face
melts.
Yeah,
right.
Like you're the filler. Thing.
That's what's crazy to me.
So
it's
not.
Like, why would you
it's
fuck
not
with
even
your
like a
face
physical
like
addiction. It's more of a like
you're
keeping it
body,
together.
You have to put
like your body needs it.
But hearing you say that, isn't that fucking crazy? Why would you do that to your face?
I can't guarantee that I would have the funds to continue to do that.
Right.
Like, how do you know that you're going to have the $10,000 of injections to
Versace
keep?
does have the funds, and she looks like the Catwoman.
Yeah,
like she doesn't look like.
I mean, have you seen Renee Zellweger and Courtney Cox recently? It's really
that's what
rough.
I'm saying.
But
what do they get done? What do they get done though? Because they get done a lot of stuff.
I think it's all like tight, pulled, tucked.
Okay, so I guess that's my question. Using those two ladies as an example, right? Courtney Cox and Renee Zellweger
and Meg Ryan.
But can you imagine?
Type in Renee Zellweger
plastic surgery.
Plastic surgery. Yeah.
Now, can you imagine because Renee Zellweger is like 45 years old?
No,
I mean, you'll see
50.
this. She looks like
you always age people. How old?
She looks like she's 70 when you see this what she's been doing.
She doesn't look too bad yet.
No, go to the.
Which one?
Okay, that one exactly right there. Click on that. The one on the left is what she ended up looking like 10 years ago. She was like 40 years old maximum.
Right.
And everything was just, that was how her face was stuck.
How old is Renee Zellweger? She can't be 50. I think she's 45.
But look, now she's plastic surgeryed out of the plastic surgery and
Good.
she looks better.
Well, you know who did that? You know who did that was
she was born in 1969, so she's going to be 50.
Wow. Okay. So Nicole Kidman was going down the Meg Ryan path, and just whatever she did, she stopped. Well, what does J-Lo do? Whatever J-Lo's doing for
J-Lo.
figure.
She definitely gets work done, but she apparently
Whatever-
gets it really
whatever
well.
she's doing, follow her.
I
Yeah.
listened to a whole podcast on
Yeah,
this
what is it?
recently. She says what I do is take bomb care of myself. There has not been a night in decades where I haven't slept less than 8 hours. I put all of the cream on. I spend hours and hours on my regimen.
Crazy.
It's like Cindy Crawford comes and says the same thing. I mean, I know when I first moved to LA.
I know.
Well, it's also money.
Yeah, it's
of course.
the
It's a lot of
expensive
maintenance,
craze.
yeah.
Well, but the same with my money though. But the same people who are spending that money to do this type of stuff is doing the bad stuff as well too. So that's why I don't know. I
What
just
were you gonna say?
I was dating a girl when I first moved to LA. She was like, 22, 23. We were dating. She was a beautiful Peruvian girl, and she got her lips done at like 23. And
Yeah,
I was like,
that's when a lot of people
what,
start.
you had beautiful lips before. I was kind of confused by it. And since then, I've seen her and she's just gotten more and more and more work done. And there's nothing, again, if that's what makes you happy and that's what you do, fine. But it definitely changes the way you look. I think it ages you in my eyeballs and how I see it. And she does not look like the same person. And what I think when I see a lot of it, too, is like, what did you think that you look like before, and what do you think you look like now, as opposed to what do you think people saw you like before, and what do you think people see you like now?
No, you're right. It has a lot to do with
People
perception.
think,
yeah.
people
more
think
how
I
do
got my
you
lips
feel?
done. Isn't that weird? People think I got my lips done.
I wouldn't see that.
No, you can tell you don't because you can always tell when
There's
you
a-
still have those lines.
Yeah.
You didn't get them done because they're not like bursting.
It's just your face.
I think that it's less about what do you think people think you look like and more about how do you feel.
Yeah.
Right.
Because a lot of women are, especially because it's all we see on TV with the Vanderpump Rules kids and the
Yes.
Kardashians and all of that. I have really small lips. I've always had really thin lips, and what society tells me today is that's not hot. So what you
So
think
it's
is
and it goes in your
what you
head.
think is
Yes,
okay. What
I
is
get
what
it.
is a hot face? All right, somebody with big lips. So then the person who isn't me thinks, so I should get bigger lips. Why not? But you can't stop getting bigger lips because then they look deflated,
yeah.
and that's something that they don't exactly tell you
Angelina
when you go
Jolie
there.
did that, right?
No, I think
No, those are natural. I don't fucking know. What do I know about
A lot of them are trying to now deflate them, and you have to like have surgery to because if you think about it, it's like stretched skin, like Fat Bastard.
Right.
You know, like with
It's
all of
It's the
that.
people that put the gauges in their ears and they get those big ear
know,
holes. You know what I mean? I once dated a girl who never laughed and never smiled, and that didn't last long.
Was it me?
Yes.
Right.
You laugh and smile. Look
All
at
the
you.
time.
But you.
Don't put it out.
You know this story. You know this
Okay.
story. I took her to see a Muppets movie, and she said, "What are the Muppets?"
Oh, right.
Right.
Oh,
So we went to
shit.
see it. And she said, "Wow, you really smile. You really smile and laugh a lot. You must be worried about your smile lines." And I said, "What are smile lines?" And then I did a research. It was like it's like the crow's feet. I smile a lot. I've got smile lines. It is what it is. I'm not going to stop smiling. I don't
Yeah.
care.
No, that's a real thing that a lot of people are concerned about.
She'll
and
never
when
go to
I
a
was,
comedy
when
club
I was
somewhere
a
about that.
kid, my grandma told me, you can't drink from a straw and you can't smile that much because as a woman, that's not attractive when you're older. Like that's something
But that's
was
what's so sad is we all
That's
get
same as
conditioned
smoking.
for
right.
that,
That's
right?
something
Like,
that was told to
sorry.
me as a child.
Well, I kind of wanted. So you guys were talking about Botox, and I kind of wanted to talk about it because I am 19 years old, but I have severe migraines, very severe migraines, and I have done Botox treatments in the past, and I came from the same exact side of, well, I don't want it to fuck with my face.
Right.
I don't want that. That's literally the worst thing possible. No, thank you. But it helps. It has helped my migraines, which has been crazy.
Where do they inject it though? They inject it
In
into
your
your
temples.
face, into the temple.
Unfortunately, it's everywhere. They on your. They do, I think, 40 injections.
Holy jeez.
Not your
Ouch.
balls, though. They can't. Don't go near the balls. They don't do the balls, right?
No.
Does it work?
No, just the face.
Okay.
It does work. It's very new. It's very kind of. A lot of neurologists are not sure about it with
Right.
a lot of things because migraines are really the worst, and no one knows anything. But
you are
Botox
the-
is.
You're the reason they invented Botox, by
Right.
the way. Like there is a medical reason
So
Botox
he's using
exists.
he's using it for the reason it was intended
Right.
for. Right. So
Exactly.
I get it, and that right. See, but my initial thing was not why it is Botox. Why is Botox a thing? My initial thing is why I just and I think you described it perfectly before. I just I'm always want to see women and men just age naturally, but not everybody can do that. All right, let's.